Yo, what's up, you guys? I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in a mild depression because Senegal lost its first World Cup game in this tournament against the Netherlands. I'm so disappointed that Black Africa started off on the wrong foot in the World Cup. Senegal lost 2-0 against Netherlands. The game was tied. I watched the whole game live. The game was tied up until like the 85th minute, right until the last few minutes of the game. In the last few minutes of the game, Netherlands scored 2 goals and beat Senegal. Oh man, even though Senegal was without their star player, best player, Sadio Mane. I still had hope for Senegal. Sadio Mane, he was out. He's out for the whole World Cup due to some type of like lower body, I think, knee injury. He just had surgery or whatever. So Sadio Mane is out for the whole World Cup. But I know Senegal has other talented and skilled players besides Sadio Mane. So I know, I still have hope for the team. I still think they can get out this group because Senegal has to face um, Ecuador and Qatar. Ecuador and Qatar are Senegal's next games, and those teams are beatable. And Senegal played, probably the best team of the group. People would say Netherlands. So they already have a good feel for the game because they Netherlands is a better team than Ecuador and fucking Qatar. So you know, so you know, and against Netherlands, Senegal, Netherlands didn't just dominate Senegal the whole game. The game was pretty much 50-50. The game against Netherlands and Senegal was pretty much 50-50. But the only difference was Senegal wasn't clinical. You know, Netherlands was more clinical on their chances, and it paid off. Ah, man, the coach made some mistakes. Senegal's coach made some mistakes. Um, yeah, against Netherlands, Senegal's coach picked the 4-2-3-1 formation. He should not have picked the 4-2-3-1 formation. The 4-2-3-1 formation is not a great formation for African teams. Whenever I see African teams use this 4-2-3-1 formation, they never do well with it. Whenever I see Nigeria use the 4-2-3-1 formation last World Cup, I believe, and they lost against Croatia with it. And whenever I see African teams play with this fucking 4-2-3-1 formation in friendly matches, they don't play well with it. The 4-2-3-1 formation are for teams that have a world class level clinical striker. You know, if you don't have a world class level striker, then the 4-2-3-1 formation isn't for you. Senegal doesn't have any clinical world class level goal scorers, for the 4-2-3-1 formation to work for them. And the reason why teams need like the clinical striker for the 4-2-3-1 formation is because with the 4-2-3-1 formation, you only have one striker in the front. One striker is in the front, up front in the 4-2-3-1 formation. You know, so if you're only that one striker in the front, you need to be a deadly clinical striker who can score at will. And Senegal doesn't have any clinical strikers like that. And we saw it against Netherlands. Senegal had some great scoring chances, but they couldn't finish. You know, and I already before the World Cup started, in Senegal's friendly matches, because I watched Senegal's friendly matches. prior to the World Cup, and I already knew their strengths and their weaknesses. And one of their weaknesses that I knew before the World Cup even started was that Senegal isn't the most clinical in front of goal. They're just not. So most of the time, when you don't have any clinical strikers to to produce goals, you know, you have to put. If you don't have any clinical strikers, you have to put more than one striker up front to increase your probability of scoring. You know, so Senegal should have used a formation that put two or three strikers up front instead of only one striker up front. To increase their probability of scoring. The perfect formation Senegal should have used was the 3-5-2 formation. That's three. That puts like three strikers in front of goal, five midfielders, and three defenders. The midfielders can run back and help on defense. The midfielders can run forward and help on the offensive attack. And another weakness that I noticed before the World Cup even started, watching Senegal play in the African Cup of Nations, watching Senegal play in their friendly matches before the World Cup, I noticed that Senegal lacks creativity. To be even more detailed, I noticed that Senegal lacks a creative playmaking midfielder. And I know that because I watched them play. And I always see that they lack creativity in the middle of the field, And one of the reasons Senegal was having some scoring problems even before the World Cup is because they lack that playmaker to create scoring chances. I forgot who starts in the midfield as the number 10 central midfielder, for Senegal. The central midfielder, the number 10 is the primary playmaker, on the squad in soccer and football. So, but yeah, I noticed Senegal's primary playmaker isn't a great playmaker at all. He's not creative. He doesn't really create scoring chances. I forgot his name. But yeah, he's more of a defensive midfielder than a creative playmaking midfielder. So for the next two games against Qatar and Ecuador, Senegal's coach needs to change up the lineup, switch players' positions, and try something out new because they definitely need more creativity, to create more scoring chances. And, defensively, Senegal can improve their positioning a little bit more, be a little bit more compact. Because when I was watching them play against Netherlands, the Netherlands attackers were just running through that midfield at will sometimes. And so that means, Senegal needs to have better defense in the midfield. They just need to be, and Senegal's defenders were leaving gaps for Netherlands to penetrate. Senegal wasn't tackling the ball like how they usually tackle the ball. So, man, Senegal needs to improve on a couple things, and hopefully they get their shit together because I know even without Sadio Mane, Senegal is still good enough to advance to the second round of the World Cup. And man, I'm so disappointed. I don't even want to watch the World Cup anymore, man, because I had so much hope for Senegal, and I still do. I know they're good enough, and maybe their loss against Netherlands is just a blessing in disguise, and this is going to force them to make the proper changes, But all right, you guys, Peace.